Tina LockLair are here with the vibes. If you like movies, come subscribe. This page is all of the tea and rumors, theories and stories, we full of humor. If you like movies and have time to spare, you need to follow Tina LockLair. LockLair, 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 LockLair.
Tina LockLair's here with the vibes. If you like movies, come subscribe. This page is all of the tea and rumors, theories and stories, we full of humor. If you like movies and have time to spare, you need to follow Tina LockLair, LockLair, LockLair. Follow LockLair.
If you like movies and have time to spare, you need to follow Tina LockLair. LockLair, 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 LockLair. Follow LockLair, follow LockLair, follow LockLair, follow LockLair, follow LockLair, follow LockLair.
Boom, boom, boom. What up, guys? Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. So, it's a cold day today. I don't know where y'all are. It's cold where I'm at. Yep, it's cold. It's cold. What's up to everybody in the chat? I see we have Dan the Man here. What up, Dan the Man? I see we have Amaziel Lovecraft. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct, but what up, homie? Looks like we got Christopher here. What up, Christopher? Dan the Man said, "Did you hear the news? I got cast in a TF animated film. Just found out I'm playing 2 characters today. How did I hear the news? No, I didn't know. And what does TF mean? Let me know what that means. But anyway, congratulations to Dan the Man. Booked and busy. Who else we got? Lawrence. Hey, Lawrence. What up? Dan the Man says, all it is being a good dude on set, and people will vouch for you. For sure. For sure. That's why, as much trash as I talk, I still try to be a good person. You know what I'm saying? I try to be a good person to people because being good sometimes pays off. Oh, Dan the Man says Transformers. Oh, okay. So Dan the Man is saying he got cast in a new Transformer animated. Bro, I don't know what all these abbreviations are. Okay, I'm old. I cannot keep up with heck. I gotta remember GOT for Game of Thrones. Gotta remember MCU for Marvel Cinematic Universe. I can't keep up. Okay, it's a lot going on. It's a lot. Christopher says Tupac will return in Doomsday. You never know. Rest in peace, Tupac, man. He should still be here. All right, today, y'all, we're going to open it up with a little general movie news. Y'all know how we do. We're going to talk about some general movie news that happened this week. We're going to talk about some of the DC stuff that's kind of dropped out. And then, of course, we're always going to end it with Marvel. So if you're here for the Marvel news, come back in about 30 minutes or so because, you know what I'm saying. And we're going to, of course, every freaking week, we got to talk about the Black Panther. Yes, we got to talk about all the the news that came out this week about Marvel meeting with Aaron Pierre and they met with Damson Idris. But if y'all have been following me for the past year or so, y'all already know that because we talk about it every week. Damson Idris, the Black Panther. Is my sound effects working? Y'all let me know. Mic working, obviously. Is my sound effects working? Let me know. Lawrence says yes. Appreciate it, Lawrence. Lawrence, thanks for always stopping in. Dan the Man, all of my regulars, S Jadix. I appreciate y'all showing up every week to support me. Or if you catch the replay, I appreciate you being here for the replay, gang, too. But let's get into it, man. Let's just go ahead and get into the first topic. Let me get it loaded up here. What are we starting off with? Let's jump over Harry Potter. Harry Potter. Let me tell y'all a secret. I've never watched the Harry Potter movies, but since this TV show is coming out, I'm going to do a binge. I'm going to watch it all. But we got a little Harry Potter news here. Let's pull it up. All right. So, here's what went down. Ralph Fiennes, whatever his name is. Let me not say that. I don't want to say whatever your name is, Ralph. No disrespect, but Ralph, the original actor who played Lord Voldemort in the movies, might have accidentally hinted at who's taking over the role in the new HBO TV show, the reboot of Harry Potter. Yep. So during a recent interview, Ralph was asked, "Hey man, who do you think could fill your shoes as the Dark Lord Voldemort? Who do you think can play the role?" And here's what Ralph said.
Who do you think should fill your shoes for Voldemort in the upcoming HBO?
Well, I'm told they're already filled, aren't they?
Who do you think it should be? If anyone could do Voldemort the way that you did
I've already said I think Cillian Murphy's very good. Very good choice. I think they've cast him, haven't they?
I hope so. I love Cillian Murphy. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm just a muggle. How would I know? I'm just a muggle.
Child, he done told the people business. He done told the people. He was like, they done cast already. It's Cillian Murphy. He done told the people business. Now, that is not an official casting announcement, but it definitely has people talking. Now, Cillian hasn't confirmed anything at this point, but still the fact that Ralph might know something. It's a little interesting. It's a little interesting. The new Harry Potter series is still in production and is set to air early 2027 on HBO. Pretty much the TV CEO or the guy in charge of HBO television did a big interview with Deadline the other day, and he pretty much said, yeah, Harry Potter is gonna come early 2027. So early to me sounds like anywhere from January to April. Now, I tell y'all this all the time. This is why I love old people. They just tell the truth. This feels like somebody told him something and Ralph just told his truth. But a part of me just can't imagine Cillian Murphy wanting to be stuck in this role for 10 years. This Harry Potter TV show is scaled out for 7 seasons. That's almost, I know, 10 to 11 years of your life just gone. Crazy commitment. Like, I cannot imagine like Cillian signing up for this. I just figured they just go find like a random person from theater and make them sign the deal because they're more interested in locking in something long term. But who knows, man? Maybe we'll get an official casting announcement soon. They've been keeping this thing really close to the vest as far as it's concerned with Lord Voldemort, but it sounds like Ralph done told the people who it is. It sounds like it. Y'all know how old people is. He just like, I mean, it's Cillian, ain't it? Ain't that what the people say? Ralph done told the people Cillian done got the job. Jesus Christ. Let's check the comments. Lawrence says Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings is fall and holiday watching each year. Yep. No doubt. Dan the Man says, no doubt, this would be something if Murphy is the new Voldemort, because that would be 2 projects he's in, because I still believe he's secretly playing Dr. Doom. S. Jaddick says, hilarious leak. S. Jaddick says, I mean, early seasons is just voice acting, of course, outside of flashbacks. Ain't like Voldemort is much of a presence until book 5. We don't know what Voldemort's presence is going to be. This is a TV show adaptation, and I tell y'all every week they make changes. Y'all don't know what they finna do with Voldemort. Lawrence says, rest in peace, Catherine O'Hara and Demon Wilson. Yes, for sure. Yeah, man. Sad. Lawrence says, retirement check. And he can do movies too. Okay. Dan the man said, Ralph don't give a damn. Just told all the people business. Just told all them people. Ralph said, it's Killian, ain't it? He looking. And then if y'all watch the video, his assistants was like, we don't know. He like, well, I guess I don't damn know. Ralph done told the people business. All right. Next topic. Andre Ware says, what up? What up, Andre? All right. I know I got a lot of men subscribers, but we finna go over into the girly lane for a little bit. This one is about to stir up a lot of controversy. A new documentary titled Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model is pulling the curtain back on America's Next Top Model, one of the most influential and controversial reality shows of all time. Okay, the documentary is going to feature, of course, the main people from the show, Tyra Banks, Jay Manuel, Nigel, Miss J, plus contestants as well. But let's be real. I'm going to be real now. America's Next Top Model shaped an entire generation's idea of beauty, modeling, and fame, but it also came with some deeply, deeply problematic moments. It wasn't flawless. And people have been unpacking everything that's happened on this show for years now, but looks like we're going to get a documentary, and it's coming out February 16th on Netflix, and I will be there. Now, let me say this. What we not finna do is drag Tyra Banks on Beyonce's internet. No, ma'am. We're not going to do it. We're not about to cancel Tyra Banks. I don't care what nobody says. And I don't blame Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks says, before y'all try to cancel me, I'm just finna go ahead and tell my own tea. I'm finna do the documentary. I'm gonna tell y'all everything I did wrong, because I ain't finna give the people a chance to cancel me. I'm just gonna go ahead and just tell y'all all my dirt. Tyra said, before y'all get to telling my tea, I'm just gonna tell it myself. Now, some of these contestants tried to come together a few years ago and badmouth Tyra. And what I will say is, in 2026, looking back at some of the stuff that went on that TV show, some of that stuff was kind of crazy. It was kind of crazy now. They had the models doing some wild stuff, but I think Tyra Banks, as a grown woman, can sit down today and take some accountability on the missteps from years ago. But what we not finna do is cancel Tyra Banks. No, ma'am. Tyra Banks is a product of all the horrible stuff she had to endure in the modeling industry. And I feel like she felt like she was preparing these girls for how cruel, the modeling industry is. But let's keep it real. There's no Rihanna, Fenty Savage line without Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks spearheaded diversity in modeling. She was about using girls from everywhere. You from the hood in Miami, come be on the show. You plus size, come be on the show. You're an albino, let's get it. Everybody come on the show. There is no Rihanna, Fenty Savage without Tyra Banks. Rihanna is not a billionaire today without Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks paved the way for diversity in the beauty industry, period. And let's not talk about Rihanna taking what Tyra Banks introduced and completely dismantling Victoria's Secrets. Dismantled Victoria's Secrets. Rihanna came in with her models and lingerie, and Victoria's Secrets stopped doing the runway show for years because Rihanna had them shook. Rihanna is the fruit of the Tyra Banks tree. There's no Eva Pickford, no Yaya DaCosta, no Winnie Harlow. Some of these women are still working today right now because Tyra Banks gave them a platform. Now, everybody ain't gonna make it, okay? Everybody didn't make it on the show. Everybody did not become famous. But what we're not gonna do is drag Tyra Banks, because Tyra Banks changed the game for sure. We're not gonna slander Tyra on Beyonce's good internet. Tyra Banks said, before y'all slander me, I'm gonna slander my damn self. That's how you do it. Are y'all gonna be checking out Tyra Banks' next top model documentary when it airs on Netflix? Y'all let me know. All right. Let's check some of the comments. I ain't gonna be able to read them all, y'all. I can't read all the comments. If y'all want to super chat to get them pushed up, we can, but I can't read all the comments today. All right. Let's see. Lawrence says, I remember they were changing people's races on the show. Yes, they did. Shout out to Lawrence. He gave me a super chat. Lawrence says, this is about to be a controlled, quiet on set. Yeah. Tyra said, listen, I'm just going to tell it for y'all tell it. Dan the Man said, just seen Tyra Banks on the last season of Lair. You know they had to bring the OGs back. Lawrence said, y'all got to boycott Fenty until she put an album out. Rihanna is done. Rihanna is done with music. And I don't blame her. I don't blame Rihanna. Ain't no money in the music industry. Streams, people ain't making money off streams. The only real money in the music industry is touring. And Rihanna has said, why I gotta get on that stage and tour every night when I can just go down in my basement and play in some makeup, work with some lingerie, and just become a billionaire. I don't blame her. I do not blame Rihanna. As much as I would like to hear a Rihanna album, I don't blame her. I ain't mad at her. I ain't mad. Dan the Man says Tyra was ruthless on that show. She was sweet when she wanted to be. Tyra wasn't ruthless. Tyra was just letting them know, hey, it's rough. You coming into this game here. Dan the Man said, y'all heard the lady. Like and share if you ain't got it. Yeah, y'all can always like, share, tell your friends to subscribe. Lawrence says, it's been 10 years. People played the hell out of Auntie. Give people a single. We got the Wakanda Forever song, I guess. Say Rihanna said, y'all gonna get Lift Me Up, and that's it. That's it. Dan the Man says, what you mean Rihanna done? Her remix of Tamala Impala, same old mistakes, transcends the soul. I'm saying Rihanna is done as in she ain't going into the studio and making no beats and getting on no albums. Beyonce is still making music. Rihanna is like, baby, I am making babies. I ain't making no tunes like that. All right. Next up, we are hearing movie rumors that the Michael trailer is about to drop this week. We don't know if it's dropping Super Bowl night or sometime this week because people are ready to see like this full-blown trailer. I want to see everybody. I'm ready to see it. Now, first things first. This movie, they've been moving a little, strategically with the marketing. They didn't rush anything because if we keep it real, this movie is like 4 months out, and you would think they would start ramping this marketing up, but it sounds like it's about to get started. They gave us a teaser. You know what I'm saying? They let the imagery breathe. They let people sit with it. And now all signs are pointing that they're about to take a big swing and drop the trailer this week. Lawrence says another trailer. That was just a teaser, Lawrence. That wasn't a trailer. We need to get a full trailer. We need to see the full thing. So Super Bowl week is where the studios go when they want to make a big moment, not just hype, a cultural moment. And that's when you get everybody talking. And Michael Jackson, I mean, come on, man. Mike is global by default. This is one movie, one legend, one clear lane. Michael's story is... Michael has a massive story. It's complicated. It's controversial. It's iconic. It's everything. And people are already debating if, before we seen the trailer, the questions are, how deep are we going in the scandals? Are we really going to pull back all of the layers of Joe Jackson? You know what I'm saying? How much of the Jackson family machine are we seeing? Are we going to see just the boys, the Jackson 5? Are we going to get to see Janet? Are we going to get to see all of the other daughters? Is this a celebration of Michael? Is this a reckoning? Like, what's this movie? What is this movie about? And this curiosity about how they're about to handle this Michael story, I think I think it's gonna be box office gold.
I like more than check.
I think this movie is gonna make money. I think it's gonna make money. Now, I'll be real. I do have some concerns. I trust Antoine Fuqua, the director, the OG. I trust the veteran actors involved. And so far, Michael's nephew, Jafar, he pulling it off. But sometimes with biopics, like there's a thin line between immersion, like really doing the part, and cosplay. It can start to get a little bit too animated. So far though, it looks good. It looks like they're nailing it, and that's a good sign. That is a good sign. This doesn't feel just like, another biopic. This feels like an event. This feels like everybody is going to show up on opening weekend for different reasons. I think people are going to show up because they love Michael. I think people are going to show up because they want to know, are we going to get into the scandals of Michael? So I think this is going to be box office gold. This is going to make some money. A lot of money. I think this is going to make money because the trailer already looks good. And Antoine Fuqua, I mean, he rarely makes bad movies. But let's check the comments. Christopher says, totally off topic. Who you think got into it on the Avengers Doomsday set? Christopher, you need to go find that video on my page. I talked about that. We'll talk about Avengers Doomsday at the end. Dan the Man says this movie is a two-parter, right? It's supposed to cover the black and white variants of Michael, ain't it? So, yeah. Right now, this movie is scheduled to just be one movie. Because they got into a little legal trouble. So it was supposed to be one massive movie. They had to go back, cut it in half, and they said if this one makes a lot of money, they'll do a part 2. So this is going to stop, if I remember correctly, sometime right in the late 80s, right before Michael started getting into trouble. So right now, it's not really a two-parter. Right now, it's a one-part, but if it does good, we're going to bring everybody back. We're going to finish it the right way, and it's going to be a two-parter. So, Dan the Man said, man, that mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. First look dropped months ago. Might as well be a trailer. That was a teaser, man. Lauren says, Spider-Man for sure dropping next Sunday. Sony got to get on it, man. They got to get on it. Lauren says, I can see us getting MJ, Odyssey, and Supergirl, Doomsday, or Toy Story and Dune. I don't know. We'll see. Dan the Man says they gonna do what the Boondocks did. Joe was innocent, trying to protect them kids from Michael's what? Ish Jack says should be the biggest since Bohemian Rhapsody. Yeah, I think this movie is gonna be pretty big. All right. We moving through it. What we got next? What's next on the agenda? All right. So let's talk about some DC news. So James Gunn gets online and posts pictures of these cookies called Chocos, and immediately, or is it Chocos? Is it Chocos or Chocos? Anyway, and immediately the internet starts doing what the internet does best: reaching, speculating, connecting dots that may or may not exist. But if y'all don't know, Martian Manhunter is low-key famous for loving these damn cookies. Like loving them. In the comics, they're his comfort food, his guilty pleasure, and sometimes, it's even framed like he addicted to these cookies. So when James Gunn randomly posts these cookies of all things, fans start to feel like, okay, this feels a little intentional now, because usually when James Gunn posts something like this, it leads to something. You know what I'm saying? Especially a deep cut reference like this. Now, is this confirmation that Martian Manhunter is popping up in Superman? Who knows? James Gunn lie all the damn time. Who knows what it's confirmation of? But could we be getting a Martian Manhunter appearance in Superman? Or could there be a Martian Manhunter TV show or movie in the works? I guess only time will tell. They did say that they still are casting for one person, a man specifically, in that Superman movie. So it could be Martian Manhunter, or this could be like a completely separate project that, James Gunn is doing on his own. So that's what we got for Martian Manhunter. Let's move on. All right, let's talk about this new Jimmy Olsen project. All right. So James Gunn announced months ago that Jimmy Olsen was getting his own TV show on HBO Max, and we just found out some information that filming is supposed to start this spring in Atlanta. ATL. Oh. The title of the show, still under wraps. We don't know what it is. Nobody's dropped the final name yet. So there's a little mystery there. We don't know what it's going to be. But what we do know is, they're filming in Atlanta around the same time that Superman is filming. So it's probably easier to just film both of these projects at the same time because there is going to be overlap. Some of the actors in the Jimmy Olsen show probably going to be in Superman. We also know that the focus of this show is going to be firmly around Jimmy. Okay, this is going to be Jimmy's show, his world, his investigations, his vibe. And the rumor mill is stating that it's going to be like a true crime docu-style tone where Jimmy Olsen, he ain't just snapping photos now. He's digging into supervillain cases. And there were rumors, months back that the main villain of the show is going to be Gorilla Grodd, but each episode may focus on like daily Planet investigations of like other villains, but we'll just have to see, man. You never know with James Gunn and his ideas, and why are we even getting the Jimmy Olsen show? Or do people like Jimmy Olsen? Is there gonna be people cutting on HBO to watch Jimmy? Only God knows. But I'm at least gonna give it a shot. I'll at least give it a shot. And y'all know I ain't the biggest James Gunn fan, but I at least give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know why Jimmy Olsen got his own show, but damn it, he got it, and it's coming. Dan the Man says, Martian Manhunter, the true MVP. Blue said, what up, though? What up, Blue? Blue, if you want to hop on a little later, you can, Lawrence says, Superman needs to be in it in a few episodes. Yeah, he might show up. All right, y'all, we are getting through these topics today. We're almost at the end. We already at Marvel. This is good. I'm going to be able to get out here kind of early today. All right, let's jump over to Marvel. All right, so according to the scooper, Daniel RPK, X-Men is reportedly set to begin filming after production wraps on Secret Wars. And honestly, the timing kind of makes a little sense. Secret Wars should be wrapped, probably around the fall. And by then, they should be getting into production on X-Men. I honestly feel like that's probably when Black Panther will head into pre-production, even though some people think it's filming this summer. I just don't see how Black Panther is filming so soon. Golly. Like, they're saying Black Panther may be filming in the summer. Let me tell y'all something. It ain't but 20 people here. I know somebody working on Black Panther, and I talked to them, and they said yes. They said they finna go into training. And I was like, are you sure you're not training for Secret Wars? They said, no, it's Black Panther. I just cannot believe it. But anyway, we'll talk about Black Panther later. But anyway, yes, Daniel RPK is saying that X-Men is supposed to start production after Secret Wars. And I mean, I hope they get X-Men right, man. Oh, I hope they don't mess up X-Men. I hope they get it right. The X-Men are like my favorite characters in the Marvel universe. I hope they get this right. So if it is true, if Daniel RPK said that filming for this is going to start after Secret Wars, which will probably be fall, December, we should start getting some casting announcement like soon. Like, we should start hearing stuff probably around the summer. And I think it's going to be interesting to see like who are the actual X-Men. Like, are they finna go traditional? Are we finna get Wolverine? Are we finna get Jean? Are we finna get Storm? Are they gonna go a little different? Who do y'all think is gonna be the first core, the first class of X-Men. I'm interested to see what they got going on. Here go Blue. Here go Blue. Jimmy Olsen might be fired. He loved James Gunn. That is his boy. Blue says, I thought X-Files was up. Yeah, I mean, that's what Cougar said. Cougar said we're doing X-Files first, but we got to also think. Let's talk about Black Panther at the end. We'll come back. We'll come back to Black Panther. Lauren said the script not done. That script been done. Ryan Coogler been wrote that movie. Old Dog says, hey Tina, I hope they get it right too, but I believe Sadie Sink might be Jean Grey. Okay. I don't believe it. Everybody tends to think this, but I do not believe it. I don't believe Sadie Sink Jean Grey. This is gonna be the biggest pie in the face moment for me if Sadie Sink is Jean Grey, because I have been like, no, that's stupid. It's not happening. If we get that Super Bowl trailer and Sadie Sink's like, I'm Jean Grey, I'm gonna be like, pie in the face, because I have been leading the charge on absolutely not. It just don't make sense. Like, why? Why is Sadie Sink Jean Grey? Why? Blue said, I heard Sadie Sink got a 3-pick deal. Don't make sense. Why are you giving her a 3-picture deal? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because let's say, hypothetically, you signed Sadie Sink for three movies, right? Let's say hypothetically it's Spider-Man, Secret Wars, and X-Men 1. Let's say that. What if when X2 come out, Sadie Sink says, I don't want to do this no more. So now you got to recast Jean Grey? Why would they sign her to a 3-picture deal? Why? It would be 5 or 6. Technically, it would be Spider-Man, Secret Wars, and I'm sure X-Men is going to be a trilogy. So 3-picture deal don't make sense. Or let's say it's a 3-picture deal. Let's say it's Spider-Man, X1 and X2. It don't make sense. It just makes no sense. Blue, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go through all my topics. Probably going to take me about 15 minutes. Then I'm going to send you the link, and I want you to come on and we talk at the end. Because I don't want to throw the flow of the show off. I want to let me get through the topics. You come on at the end in about 15, 20 minutes, and then we can dig into everything. If you're still around. If you're busy, I get it. All right. Let's move. Because I'm almost done, really. It's only like 2 or 3 topics left. All right. We finna move on. All right. So per Daniel RPK, the Hand is reportedly set to appear in Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Okay. Now, this is interesting. For anyone who watched the Netflix era, the Hand is, of course, deeply tied to Daredevil, ninjas, ancient orders, Elektra, all that morally messy stuff, okay? We already know, or we think we know, that the Hand is supposed to be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So it sounds like for the first time, and God knows when, that Marvel may be trying to set up some connective tissue. Because if the Hand is in Daredevil, we already know the Punisher might be in Daredevil. So could Daredevil possibly be setting up a little bit of stuff that flows into Spider-Man? That kind of like, oh my God, that makes sense. Connective tissue, right? Right? It's like for the first time, and God knows when, Marvel is trying to establish connective tissue. Now, I just know Destin Daniel Cretton is about to have the Hand looking crazy in this Spider-Man movie. Like, they about to be some super ninjas. Bruh, I know the Hand is about to look crazy. Y'all, if the Hand is in Daredevil, right? Watch how different the Hand looks in Daredevil versus when they show up in Brand New Day and Destin Daniel Cretton gets his hands on them. Oh, he finna go silly with these ninjas. If y'all go back and watch Shang-Chi, one thing I can say, what was that ninja name? Was it Death Dealer? He wasn't playing. He wasn't playing, boy. He wasn't playing. These ninjas is about to go crazy in Spider-Man. Let me ask y'all something, because y'all know I don't read all the comics. Did Spider-Man ever do karate in the comics? Is Spider-Man like a martial artist? Does Spider-Man get into the martial arts in comics? Cause these ninjas about to tear his ass up. These ninjas, these ninjas is gonna put it on Spider. These ninjas is gonna put it on Spider-Man Brand New Day. But anyway, back to the topic. Per Daniel RPK, the hand may be showing up in Daredevil. That is the news. So hopefully we can see the hand in Daredevil and show up in Spider-Man. Blue said yes, he was he was trained by Shang-Chi. Well, we know that ain't happening in the MCU. So like I said, he can get his ass towed up. unless at the beginning of the Spider-Man movie, Peter Parker gonna be doing a monologue and said, "Yes, I've been spending some time over on the West Coast, and Shang-Chi been teaching me karate." If we don't get that monologue, the hand is finna tear Spider-Man ass. Ah! Thank y'all for giving me that Shang-Chi teaches Peter martial arts in the comics. Okay. Well, guess what? I don't know if he gonna have that karate ready by the time the hand gets to him. He better go to work. He gonna have to web them boys up, cause Shang-Chi barely could deal with the death dealer. Y'all know Destin Daniel Cretton finna have the hand looking like super ninjas, boy. Blue says he doesn't need it. You're right, cause Spider-Man technically is like super damn strong, and the hand is really just regular people, but we'll see. All right, next up. Let's talk a little Chloe Zhao. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. This is for the people who are real Marvel fans and real into some messy shit, because this interview that Chloe Zhao did was messy as hell. It was so messy. I love when people leave a job and then just start telling all the tea. This is the type of messiness that I am with. So Chloe Zhao, the director of the Eternals, was recently on a podcast and she talked about her experience with Marvel and the Eternals. So I don't know if y'all know, there was rumors like back in the day that Chloe Zhao had turned down the role of director for Black Widow. So she talked about that. She cleared that rumor up. She said that she never turned down the role to direct Black Widow. She said she was in the running for the film, but it never quite like felt like her movie. To me, it sounds like you damn turned it down. You either turned it down or they had a conversation with her and was like, "Nah, we really don't like your Black Widow story." So I don't know why she had to clear that up. Okay. Now, here's like the part that I found like most interesting. So Chloe pretty much said, all right, Eternals was not high on Marvel's priority list. It was just an IP sitting there waiting for the right filmmaker to care about it. And she pitched the movie to Kevin, and Kevin said, "Okay, cool, you can do it." She said, despite how like people talk about how Marvel is this big, massive machine, she said when it actually boiled down to it, when it came down to decision making, it was between her, Feige, and Nate Moore. So y'all know sometimes we'll say, it's this big machine. Chloe said, "No, baby, it was just us three." Okay, it was just us. Okay, so whether you love the Eternals or hated it, or you still arguing about it later, I think when you really read that interview, it helps explain kind of like why the movie essentially didn't do as well, because Marvel really never wanted to make it. Chloe Zhao just kind of pitched them like, "Hey, I want to do the Eternals," and Kevin was like, "Okay, cool." And see, this is what I feel about the Eternals, right? This whole movie. Once again, we gotta blame Kevin Feige for some of this stuff, because Chloe Zhao's story sounds just like Mahershala Ali's story. These people came to Kevin Feige and said, "Hey, we want to do this project," and it seemed like he either scared to tell people no, or he felt like they needed content, so he said, "Yeah." So you letting these people do this stuff, but low key you really don't care about it. Low key you really don't want to push it, which goes back to what I've been saying ever since 2020. Kevin Feige never had a plan for phase 4 or 5 or 6. He was just letting people make stuff and really had no intentions or plans on how to make all this work. And the Eternals to me, it wasn't a bad film. It wasn't horrible. Kevin Feige just kind of failed to put the pieces together. Because I remember when the Eternals was coming out, the fandom was kind of excited because we thought, hey, they about to introduce the damn mutants. But guess what? No. This was just a project that Chloe wanted to make. It was a passion project. Kevin Feige didn't care to make the project, or really, he didn't. Kevin Feige didn't really, one, care to make this project. Two, almost every project in phase 5, 4, 5, and 6, he never cared to make the shit fit together. And that's why it kind of just feels like, what's the purpose of this movie? When we think about it, the only thing that is really connected in this multiversal saga, WandaVision, Multiverse of Madness, Agatha, and now Vision Quest. That is a clear storyline that's connected. Everything else, baby, they was just freestyling. They just freestyle. Everybody just doing what they want to do. Doing what they want to do. So she pretty much said in this interview, they ain't care about this movie. How do you hire this cast and not really care? It just sounds like a waste of money. It just sounds like a waste of time. I don't understand. Chloe Zhao said they ain't care about it. Nobody cared about the Eternals. She pitched them. Kevin said cool, but then she found out Kevin really ain't give a damn about the project. So that just goes to show like how they was just putting stuff out and not caring to connect it, not really caring about the project, not really caring about the team. Because why the hell do you go and get all of these actors, put this movie together, give Chloe Zhao this money, and not really care to, one, market it, not really care to, two, connect it, and three, not really even care to give a damn? I don't know. I don't know. Lawrence said Nia DaCosta kept it classy, but Chloe went in. We black women. Nia DaCosta has no choice but to keep it classy, because as soon as she would have really pulled back the layers, then she gets labeled the angry black woman. You don't want to work with her. She angry. She got an attitude. We got to keep it classy. We got to. Chloe Zhao don't give a damn. She don't care, because guess what? She's still gonna make her movies. S. Jaddick said Chloe had Oscar cred. She doesn't need to play a yeah, that's what I just said. Chloe don't care. Chloe give me the type of energy that if she woke up tomorrow and she didn't have a job, she would go live on a farm somewhere and be cool and content with her life. That's the type of energy Chloe Zhao give me. So Chloe, in that interview, she was just telling it what it is. Yeah. All right. Blue, I don't know if Blue's still here. Blue, I got Deadpool, Secret Wars, Black Panther, Wonderman. About 4 more topics, and you can bounce on. I'll send you the link. All right, let's get into Deadpool here. All right, so sources are saying Ryan Reynolds is being very strategic right now, and honestly, that tracks. He's keeping his focus on the next Deadpool project because that's where the public loves him the most. Y'all, I met Ryan Reynolds. Oh man, Ryan Reynolds had a movie. He had a movie out. This was when he was really young in the movie industry. And what I'll say is Ryan Reynolds has always been he always been a cool dude. He always been cool. I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan, but Ryan Reynolds, my experience from Ryan Reynolds, he was always a cool dude. But anyway, we first heard back in May that Ryan Reynolds was kind of in the early stages of writing the next Deadpool movie. And this is what he's pitching. Wade Wilson plus 3 or 4 other X-Men. And at the time, of course, Ryan is working independently on this project, just kind of developing it on his own. So it means it's not greenlit yet. It's not greenlit, but let's be real. After how successful Deadpool and Wolverine was, common sense tells you that Disney and Marvel, they not finna let the character just sit on the shelf. Another Deadpool-led project is most likely coming. People like the character. It makes money. It makes money. So we know he coming back. We know it's coming back. Now, social media chatter claims Ryan might actually be developing an X-Force movie, and it's not random. Like, people aren't just pulling it out the air. Of course, Deadpool had a big run with X-Force in the comics. Plus, back in the day, Ryan Reynolds was trying to get an X-Force movie off the ground back when Fox still had the X-Men rights. So this idea is not new. It's been sitting in his back pocket for years. And according to Puck News, very reliable source. If you want to get like some real information, follow Puck News. Puck is legit. He don't drop information all the time, but when he drop it, it's real. He was the one who dropped the news last year that Kathleen Kennedy was leaving, and then Kathleen Kennedy came out and was like, "No, it's lots." Puck be knowing what he was knows what he talking about. Follow Puck. But anyway, according to Puck News, who's a very reliable source, all signs are pointing to another Deadpool project being next. No matter what forms it takes. We don't know if it's X-Force. We don't know if it's just Deadpool by himself. Now, there were rumors floating around that this X-Force style movie may be where Storm shows up. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I do not want Storm anywhere near Deadpool. Okay? Storm is an Omega level character. She deserves weight. She deserves presence. She does not need to show up in a Deadpool movie. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Keep Storm far the hell away from Deadpool. I'm almost sure Kevin Feige would say, "Nah, buddy, you can't do Storm." Okay, I'm going to give Kevin the benefit of the doubt on that. He ain't going to let Ryan Reynolds do Storm. Let Deadpool do Deadpool and let Storm be Storm. We don't need to mix it. We don't need to mix it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. And what I'll say is, even though Deadpool movies don't work for me, I'm not mad at Marvel for letting Ryan Reynolds tell these stories because they make money. That's just it. That's when it all boils down to it. They make money.
I like more than check.
Yeah, so let them keep doing it. Let them keep doing it. It ain't my cup of tea, but it works for other people. So I'm not mad if Ryan Reynolds is currently in the process of developing another Deadpool movie. I don't know how it fits into the mutant saga. And everybody keeps saying, "Oh, in Secret Wars, it's not going to be no multiverse." The multiverse going to still be there, y'all. It's still going to be other universes. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why people think that ain't gonna be no other universes after Secret Wars, because it just has to be. There has to be other universes in the world. But yeah, that's what we got. Ryan Reynolds is in the process of working on another Deadpool movie. Let's check the comments. Andre Ware says, "It's my birthday today, so I need Ryan to stay as Deadpool and Hugh Jackman to retire." Happy birthday, Andre. Look, it was also Blue and Marcus's birthday this week. So happy birthday to all the January babies. Blue says, "Marvel gets no benefit of the doubt from me." Damn. Lauren said, "Deadpool is a gutter, bro. Storm is a queen, a goddess." Yes. Q says, "I'm late." Q, you be late every week, every Saturday, 3 p.m. Okay? You ain't missed much. Watch the replay. S. Jaddick says, "Well, now hold up. I'm totally down with Cynthia as Aurora if I'm stuck with T'Challa or to Junior. We could all suffer together." Blue says, "Happy birthday, Andre." Look, this is what I'll say. Because as Jaddick's trying to be funny, talking about if Cynthia get it and he okay with it because we got to suffer with T'Challa. What I'll say is, Cynthia not high on my list. Okay, let me be very clear. Cynthia is not high on my list. Jodie Turner-Smith, number one. What's our girl from Batman and Sinners? Pearline. Hold on. Pearline. Jamie Lawson, number two. Okay. Jodie Turner-Smith, number one. Jamie Lawson, number two. Kiki Lane, number three. A lot of y'all like to wonder why. We'll put her at number 4. If Cynthia Erivo slide in at number 5, if she put some weight on, y'all, I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad. I would not be mad. And I know we would get a short storm, and I don't like that because we already got Halle Berry as short. But if Cynthia is 5th on the list and get the job, I wouldn't be too mad. Cause Cynthia can act. I know. I get it. We ain't finna. I don't want to turn it into a Cynthia bashing session, but I would not be mad if Cynthia is 5th on the list of potentials. I would not be bad. Now you got to go through the other 4 before you get there, but I wouldn't be mad. Lawrence, I'm not even gonna engage in that conversation. We not gonna talk about black women that bad over here. King of Dreams says Storm's presence should show up with T'Challa in the X-Men universe with T'Challa. So in the X-Men universe, there should already be a Storm there and a T'Challa there. It can happen. I think with Doomsday, anything can happen. Old Dog said if she put some weight on, look, I probably wouldn't be mad either. Cause she could do it. She just short. And she just need, I don't want to get into it because I know how y'all feel about Cynthia and the beauty standards of what Storm should look like. And I know people feel their way about Cynthia, so we're not gonna get there. Blue says Storm does not need T'Challa. He is right. She don't. But that's what the people want to see. The people want to see that. All right. Next up, let's talk about Secret Wars. Oh, dog. Cynthia Erivo definitely wants to be Storm. She has done interviews at least twice saying that's her dream job. And when people go to Marvel and say this is what I want to do, that's what they do. They do what people want to do. All right, but anyway, so there's this chatter that Avengers Secret Wars could be split into 2 movies. And look, I'll be fair. Okay, I'm gonna be fair. Conceptually, I understand why that idea exists. If y'all know the Secret Wars story is huge. You got multiverses, incursions, realities, everything just piling down on Battleworld, okay? A patchwork planet made from dead universes. I get it. You got Dr. Doom basically playing God, ruling what's left. Heroes don't even realize how broken the universe is at first. Alliances are shaky. Memories are fractured. Like, I get it. I get it. The stakes are crazy in Secret Wars. I get it. So from a story perspective, I can see why somebody would say, hey, this is too big for one movie. Okay, I can understand that. But here's where I hit the brakes. That is not a creative decision you make this late in the game. Secret Wars is about to start filming this year. You don't wake up this year and say, you know what? Let's double the budget, double the contracts, and double the chaos. That is a fiscal nightmare to split this movie up where we are right now. Fiscal nightmare. Actors deals, back end points, scheduling, availability, disaster. That is stuff that they should have already had negotiated and planned out 2 or 3 years ago. If Marvel wanted Secret Wars to be 2 parts, they should have figured that out years ago. There is no way possible. Marvel is sitting down saying, let's see how good Doomsday does. And if Doomsday does well, we're going to split Secret Wars up. That is just dumb. That's stupid. That is dumb. That is ridiculous from a finance point of view, because you got to think about it now. You have Robert Downey Jr. signed to a 2-movie deal for $100 million. Baby, if you come to me and say, hey, we thinking about splitting this movie up, well, you got to give me another 50, because now technically I done filmed 2 movies instead of 1. That's what they going through with the Michael movie. You know what I'm saying? But you see, with the Michael movie, they decided last year, hey, if Michael does good, we're gonna bring everybody back and do a part 2. Keyword if it does good, because then they'll have the extra money to go in, rework contracts, all of that. If they talking about splitting Secret Wars into 2 movies this year, baby, they barely got everybody in the cast from Doomsday. Like, we don't know if Elizabeth Olsen coming back. We don't know if Famke coming back. We don't know if Halle Berry is coming back. If they having a hard time getting people for Doomsday, I can imagine the disaster and stress it would be to even think about splitting this into 2 movies. Massive, crazy. Do I believe that Marvel is sitting down today thinking, should we split this movie up? I don't believe it. I just cannot believe it. At this stage, they probably thought about it years ago and decided we know how big this movie is supposed to be. That is crazy to even be. Let's just don't even entertain that. That is insane. If we get to Comic-Con and they say, guess what? Secret Wars is now Secret Wars Part 1 and Part 2. I wouldn't be mad, but I would be like, what the fuck is y'all doing? What are y'all doing? Like, this is crazy. So I look, they just, nah. No. That is insane. Oh, Jesus. Lawrence said that's a weird rumor. I think it has teeth to it. I think they probably was thinking about it maybe some years ago. It's just catching wind right now. Blue said that's stupid and dumb. It's retarded. Can't use the R word. It's insane. Q says he's getting all that money because he's playing Iron Man as well. No, he getting all that money because they had to go back crawling and had to bend the knee and kiss the finger. That's what happened when you have leverage. That's what happened when you really ain't got to do something. You know what I mean? That's what happens. That's like you got somebody who need a ride. You just got paid today. You don't need the money, but somebody be like, hey, man, I need a ride. Can you take me across the street? I give you $10. You sitting like, man, I really don't want to move for 10, but I might take you for 20. That's what RDJ did. RDJ don't need the money. He just like, he probably was like, I'll come back if y'all give me 50. He probably was like, they for sure gonna say no. They came back and said, yeah, we'll do it. He probably like, damn. I'm like, damn, I gotta do it for real now. Oh man. All right. Let's talk about Wonderman. Wonderman. All right. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Wonderman because I already did a review on it on my page. What I'll say is I am happy for Yahya Abdul-Mateen. I am happy for Yahya. I'm happy he's being celebrated. I'm happy that the fans and the critics seem to like this movie. This TV show, I'm sorry, it wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't for me. I didn't really enjoy it that much, but I do hope that Simon Williams stays in the MCU. Okay, I hope he stays. I'm not going to downplay the reception of this project because the critics love it. And my timeline, the fans love it. To me, from what I'm seeing on my timeline, this has been one of the most well-received Marvel shows probably since XMen 97. So I ain't finna hate. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really enjoy it much. I list my reasons. And I had some people in my comments really getting at me like, girl, hush, you sound like a hater. And I'm not really a hater. There were things that just didn't work for me. I didn't like it. And I feel like when you have the caliber of actor in Yahya Mateen, he deserved better. He deserved better than this show who nobody believed in. Y'all hear that again? Sounds like we talked about that earlier with Eternals, a show who nobody believed in. They came out this week and said that they wanted to put the show in the trash and use it as a tax write-off. They didn't care. This is a habit of Marvel and their black character content, okay? Blade is non-existent. Armor Wars, who knows? Where's Kang? Gone. Eli Bradley, gone. So my problem ain't just with the show. It's with the overall treatment of how people at Marvel look at black characters and how they feel like they only trust Ryan Coogler to tell black stories. That's just what I'm afraid of. I don't like that. I don't like that the people who did Cap 4 and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I don't like that y'all wouldn't let them people tell the story before y'all went in and cut it up. I don't like that. Let these people tell the story. Y'all don't go in there and get to cutting up Ryan Coogler shit like that. Y'all let him rock out. Let everybody else rock out. But once again, I'll scream it from the mountaintops. I'm happy for Yaya. I want to see more of Yaya in the MCU. He's too good of an actor to be pushed on Disney Plus, and we just never see him again. That is my gripe. We just talked about how Chloe Zhao said them people never wanted to make Eternals. We just talked about how we don't know where the hell Blade is because y'all never wanted to make Blade. And now we having this same conversation about Wonderman. They coming out this week and saying, we were finna throw this shit in the trash. So it's not me hating on Yaya or Wonderman. It's me hating on how they are treating some of this content. That's where my hateration comes in. Because you go get this man and you create this show and then you was finna throw it in trash. I would have been mad, bro. I'd have been mad. And another thing about Wonderman, the creators just randomly brought up mutants for no reason. Ain't nobody asking about mutants. And in so many words, he said he was inspired by X-Men, but he wanted to leave it open-ended on Simon on if he a mutant or not. And in so many words, he was like, let the next creator figure it out. I don't know if that nigga a mutant. He might be, he might not. We're leaving it ambiguous. What? Let's take a look at the clip.
Yeah, I thought it was also so interesting how the show never really explains how Simon gets his powers. In fact, he doesn't even seem to really know himself, which is incredibly unique for the MCU. What were the conversations like behind the scenes and just figuring out those powers, you know, how he might have gotten them, and then how much you were going to actually tell the audience at the end of the day?
To me, I look back at that first X-Men movie and how those powers that all those, you know, teenagers felt so psychological. They felt like it was about, you know, all these life changes we go through. And Simon felt like it was some part of him that sort of happened to him, as opposed to something that he was A, excited about, or B, well, you know, wanted to even get to know. Like, he doesn't have any curiosity about them.
Could he possibly be a mutant?
You know, it's a very good question, and it's one we discussed, and it's one we decided we weren't going to answer.
That's fair.
So I'll leave it up to the people who make those kind of mutant questions.
The answer's up there, though, isn't it?
It is. It's up there.
Yaya don't know if he a mutant. All Yaya Mateen knows he an actor. He don't know if he a mutant or not. Which he might not even be an actor anymore at this point because you done broke the law. So once again, that sounds like a Kevin Feige thing. It sounds like that creator said, I was thinking about the X-Men when I was developing this iteration of the character. And it sounds like he wanted him to be a mutant, but Kevin Feige came in and was like, no, maybe just leave it ambiguous. Just let the people use their imagination. No! What the fuck? Is he a mutant or is he not? Like, why is it ambiguous? Why is it left up to our interpretation to determine if he a mutant or not? A character that they probably didn't want to make him a mutant because, once again, they didn't believe in the show and they probably didn't want to guarantee that he comes back again. Like, this is just crazy. This is just crazy to me. But once again, Yaya Mateen, I am not hating on you. You are loved. You did great. I am upset with how Marvel is doing some of these things for no reason. Like, why does this show even exist if y'all didn't care about it? But anyway, let's check the comments. Let's see what the peoples is saying. All right. Lauren says it's a 7.5 for me. Blue says, welcome to the hater club. I don't hate on a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in Marvel I actually like. The only things I really did not like really is like Wonderman and She-Hulk. Everything else I liked. Everything else I like. The racists and Lawrence says the racists and grifters are mute on Wonderman. Haven't seen one clickbait video pop up. Yeah, that's interesting. I remember me, Blue, maybe Chill, maybe Dre. I think we were all talking couple months ago, and we were going through the race swap conversation, and one of the bigger arguments was don't race swap him because now people are going to drag him. But I haven't seen anybody really upset about the race swap. Maybe it's because people don't know who Wonderman is and they don't care. But yeah. O-Dog said, I liked it. I heard they were going to use him for Kang Dynasty. I think, a part of me just feels like you don't go get Yaya just to throw him away. So I hope he does stick around. Ish Jaddick says, another broke, struggling black hero. Damn. Dwayne says, happy for Wonder Man. I am happy. I am happy that this is the first time in a while. It feels like, for the most part, a lot of people are happy with the MCU. I see a lot of people really, really like this, for sure. Lauren says, why is he not Blue Marvel or T'Challa? That's what I said. The Lawrence report says, if he ain't come from Charles Xavier Gifted School of Mutants, he's not a mutant. We can't say that. It's a lot of mutants out that didn't go to Charles' school now. Don't take that man mutant powers away if he a mutant. S. Jaddick says, it's weird how wishy-washy that Kevin has been on mutants and the X-Men. Yeah, it's so weird. All right, y'all, we are at the last topic, and as normal, it is the Black Panther. Blue, last topic. I'm gonna send you a link. Where you want me to send the link to, Blue? All right, y'all, let's talk about the Black Panther. All right. Every week, Black Panther news. So, per Scooper, James Mack, Black Panther 3 is supposedly going full alien mode and is being positioned as the starting point for the cosmic arc of the MCU's next saga. And I'm gonna be real with y'all, I ain't buying it. His tweet says Black Panther 3 is supposed to involve aliens and cosmic entities. Okay, first off, that directly contradicts what the Scooper Alex P was saying last year. Alex P said he heard that Black Panther 3 was going to be horror. Okay, so that's two mixed messages already. Aliens or horror? Or is it horrible aliens? Which one is it? But even beyond that, Intergalactic Black Panther feels like way too soon, too early. Like, it seems too soon to me, especially when we're on like the doorsteps of the mutants entering the MCU. Everything that I heard was pointed towards Black Panther 3 being a grounded story about that baby. More character driven. Now you telling me Wakanda is suddenly about to be the launch pad for space stuff in the new phase? Like, why we doing that? We don't know. We don't need to do that. It's too early. I don't want to see Space Black Panther right after Secret Wars. I don't want to see it. And I just can't see Ryan Coogler ready to tell a space story right now. I feel like he has a trilogy that he wants to cap off, and I just can't see this space stuff happening. But we'll keep watching it. Who knows? Could be wrong. We don't know everything. It's just a rumor. But this sounds like super far-fetched. I don't know. Blue says Marvel is good. S. Jaddick says, I did see a rumor about Wakanda in space like a year ago. I do remember because Blue reported on it, and then I did a video about Blue doing it. It just don't make sense. You telling me after Secret Wars, Franklin finna put everything back together, everything finna go back, and Wakanda like we finna go to space? No, not now. That seems like a Black Panther 6 movie. That seems like a Black Panther 6 movie. We just on 3. I feel like it takes 6 movies before we even start talking about outer space. They got so much shit going on in Wakanda. They got so much stuff going on in Wakanda. We ain't got no business worried about space right now. Y'all got to figure out the politics of Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just dealt with a flood, doom coming. And I said this last week. Y'all know in the comics, Doom goes to Wakanda to kind of take their vibranium. Hopefully that we don't do that no more. Let's don't do that. We already dealt with Thanos. This time, let Doom go to the Talokan and take their vibranium. Give Wakanda a break. Okay? Give Wakanda some time to just chill. Not now. Not now. Esjetic says Intergalactic is really all about T'Challa. Shuri is basically not relevant, but of course, it's on brand for Coogler to rob T'Challa to boost Shuri. O-Dog says, I heard about the horror aspect of it, but now space. Yeah, Alex P said last year that he heard that Black Panther 3 was a horror movie. And I said then, that is crazy. First off, no. Why is Black Panther a horror movie? Like don't get me wrong now. We can go there if it needs to go there. There's enough spiritual stuff that you can really dig into, and it can get creepy if you want to take it there. But I don't see Ryan Coogler going there yet because he still has so much stuff he got to clean up before we can even start getting into space and horror and all this other stuff. I just can't see it going either one of those routes right now. They got some shit they got to get together. they got some stuff they got to get together. All right, next up. Daniel RPK had the Black community buzzing this week because he dropped news that Marvel had met with Aaron Pierre for Black Panther for Doomsday or Secret Wars. Okay. Jeff Snyder then came behind Daniel RPK and confirmed that this situation did happen. Now, what I'll say is My Time to Shine Hello was actually the first person to drop this news last year. And I remember people thought My Time to Shine Hello was trolling. And I said, hey, man, I can see this meeting taking place because Aaron Pierre is already in the Disney infrastructure. I said it. I remember when My Time to Shine said this, people was like, she trolling. She just trying to get money. This is stupid. It would never happen. And I did a video. I said, hey, man, I can see Marvel doing a meeting with Aaron Pierre. Here's a clip. I did this last January. Look at this clip.
Now, when we get to Kelvin and Aaron Pierre, these two are already ingrained in the Disney machine. They both played in the latest Disney project, Mufasa. They were Mufasa and Scar. They both played in this TV show that came out earlier last year called MLK which they both knocked it out of the park. I don't think a lot of people watched that TV show, but it was great. So they both have been in several Disney projects. That MLK show was on Disney Plus. So me personally, I wouldn't be surprised if they showed up in either Marvel or Star Wars sometimes in the future. Disney does a great job of recycling their actors into different projects and universes within their studio. It happens a lot.
Okay, so that was last year when this rumor started and people thought it was a lie. Jeff Snyder came out and three people. My Time to Shine Hello said it. Daniel RPK is now reporting it. And Jeff Snyder came behind all of them last week and said it's true. The meeting took place. That is damn crazy. So this is not a new story. If y'all have been following me for a while now, y'all know I did videos about this rumor last year. I told y'all I heard it was several people who walked away from this offer. Some people did not want to step into Chad's shoes. Some people did not want to be a short-term variant. And when I reported on it, some people was like, nobody would ever walk away from Marvel. And here we are. Jeff Snyder said Aaron Pierre declined the offer and went on to be Jon Stewart for the Green Lantern. I think it's crazy. I think it's crazy that the Russos and Kevin Feige even met with Aaron Pierre for this role. And I think it goes to show you how much they think of this world of Black Panther. And no matter how you feel about Ryan Coogler, he would have never entertained Aaron Pierre ever. And what's even crazier about all of this, what's even mind-boggling about all of this, y'all had Aaron Pierre. He was literally in the Blade movie. He was the villain of Blade. Y'all couldn't figure out the Blade movie. and y'all cut him from the script, switched his parts around so much that he went from being the villain to being a sidekick until, well, y'all just cut him all together and was like, hell, let's just bring in Mia Goth. How y'all cut the man, then invite him back to be a Black Panther variant? Yeah, I probably would have told him no too. I probably would have taken the Jon Stewart role too. At least James Gunn, and y'all know I don't like James Gunn, but at least James Gunn probably promised him a TV show and future movie appearances, whereas the Russos could probably only say, well, I mean, we can promise you Doomsday or Secret Wars, but like I told y'all, we really ain't talked to Ryan Coogler, so we can't really guarantee nothing after that. Hell, I would have walked too. I would have been like, nah, bro, I'm good. I'm finna go over here. They got a solid deal over here for me. I am gonna be in a TV show, and James Gunn already told me I'm gonna be in a movie. I'm leaving. I ain't finna be over here playing with y'all because y'all let me go. But he was at least gracious enough to entertain them and at least take another meeting. I told y'all people was walking away from this role. I told y'all last year. People was like, nah. Same thing with Damson. Same thing with Damson. Let's check the comments before we get to Damson. All right, Blue, I'm finna send you the link because we finna wrap up as soon as I talk about Damson. Hold on, y'all. I'm finna send Blue this link. Then we'll talk about Damson, and then me and Blue will get on here and chop it up. Hold on. Lord, I just got on Twitter, y'all. They talking about Ian McKellen just said that he destroys New Jersey in Avengers Doomsday as Magneto. I love old people. They don't give a damn. They just be telling it. I love old people. All right, Blue. All right, Blue. I sent the link. All right, y'all. Let's talk about Damson. Damson. Same thing with Damson. Allegedly.
Allegedly. The lawyer lady up there in the booth is telling me to say allegedly.
Okay. Allegedly, he wasn't interested in the short-term variant role either, and that's when he went on to take the role of Prince Enon in Children of Blood and Bone. Now, there is a possibility that right now, today, Coogler, Russos, Feige, and Damson have sat down and said, hey, man, we ready to give you the long-term deal, and maybe he's back in action. Maybe he's back in play. We know Marvel will obviously let people walk and then invite them back, hence letting Aaron Pierre leave for Blade, and then y'all invite him back to be Black Panther. So I can see a scenario where there's more meetings happening and maybe there's a deal in place, okay? Now, YouTuber Christian Harloff, he said, rumor has it. Okay, Christian Harloff said that he heard that Damson Idris has the role of Black Panther and that he will be playing T'Challa Jr. So that is now 3 people saying that Damson has this role. Geeky Cast, Alex P, and now Christian Harloff. Let's take a look at Christian's clip.
What I've heard, the 2 things that I've heard are that A, that it was Damson Idris, that he's pretty much going to play the role, and B, that is T'Challa's son.
Yes, I don't know. I don't know anything.
What do you think about, like, first of all, we didn't really talk about it. Aaron Pierre, though, do you think, I think stick to the DCU and stick to
I think that was pre him joining Lanterns, that kind of talk.
Maybe.
He's Lanterns. He ain't jumping to MCU.
I don't think that makes sense for them to do right now, just because he's the hot guy right now. It's like, so's Damson Idris. Pick up on Damson Idris. He's perfect for this.
Yeah,
I think it works real well. And I think he's going to be perfect in the role. But they are going to give him the mantle of Black Panther. He's going to be T'Challa's son. I think it all makes sense, and it does make sense in the battle world aspect of it. So,
all right. So you have 3 scoopers saying that he has this job, and the question is, like always, is it T'Challa or T'Challa Jr.? Is this a short-term variant, or is the man here to stay. I guess we'll find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. We don't know. We don't know. I don't know. Like I say every week, I feel like the general audience likes this pick. He's young. He can grow into the character. I just feel like he feels so young that he does lean more into T'Challa Jr. versus T'Challa. That's always been how I felt about Damson. I've also said I wouldn't be surprised if there's somebody else playing this variant, maybe somebody older, especially if they go the route of T'Chanda. Who knows? Who knows? Now, let me tell you what I do know about Marvel. When it comes down to Doomsday and these Secret Wars movies, they have so many contingency plans on how they can move. They can pivot in so many different directions when it comes to these movies. These two movies, Doomsday and Secret Wars, and these characters. But once again, we'll just have to wait and see how everything turns out. I just feel like Damson Idris is going to be the topic of conversation like every month until Secret Wars comes out. Okay? Let's check the comments. Lauren says Daniel RPK usually gets the trailer stuff right. I'm gonna pull you up in a minute, Blue. S. Jaddick says I could see them going to Pierre after Rebel Ridge from some variant Black Panther. That seems to be on brand. They like a light skin. They can cast a light skin Storm too. Lauren said Aaron Pierre would have worked as TJ, but they have two different skin colors. Absolutely not. Joe James said 3 people said Damson is T'Challa. Also, 3 people said Aaron met with Marvel. Well, let's keep it a buck. These were 3 separate people. Now, only people I really be trusting is like Snyder be on point, Daniel be on point. My time to shine, hello. She be bull-essing sometimes, but sometimes she be on point too. Alex P. Sometimes Alex P. Lauren says, is T'Challa Jr., a.k.a. Prince T'Challa? They will call him T'Challa. Yeah, that's what we've been saying. S. Jaddick says, he feels so young, but also he doesn't feel young enough. Like, I'm curious how they pull this off, this damn time jump. Like, the kid is 8. What is the youngest we think Damson can play? I don't even want to speculate. I'm not even going to speculate. I'm just not. I'm not. All right. We got one more thing. Then we're going to bring Blue up. So y'all know I always talk about the general audience, right? Because those are the movie ticket buyers, the general audience. So I was watching Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva has been in the game for a long time. He's like a blogger, and he usually goes over like current events, but he was talking about Black Panther. So I was like, let me add this clip in so y'all can see like how the general audience like feels about this Black Panther stuff. So let's check it out. And then we're going to bring Blue up. Let's see here.
Now I'm going to tell y'all what else getting on my last nerves. The search for the Black Panther. Now I'm going to tell you what these hoes did. Last week, they went and talking about, they was interviewing or meeting with Aaron Pierre for Black Panther. Absolutely not. We like Aaron Pierre. We like looking at him. Not for this. First and foremost, I'm finna be real discriminatory. The Black Panther can't be light-skinned by any stretch of the imagination. The Black Panther cannot be light-skinned. It sounds ignorant as all hell. I don't give a damn. The Black Panther is not allowed to be light-skinned. Now, I will say this. They say they meeting with Damson Idris about the Black Panther. I ain't gonna lie to you. You're getting a little closer. You getting a little closer. If the trailer dropped and it happened to be Damson Idris, I make it enough. I ain't gonna tell you I'm gonna be doing backflips off the top of Carnegie Hall, but I make it enough. I'm gonna tell you who need to be the next Black Panther, and you tell me if I'm lying. Aldous Hodge. Why hasn't Aldous Hodge's name entered the conversation? Ladies and gentlemen, drop down in the chat, because I know the Marvel people be watching me. Drop down in the chat right now and put all the names of all the suggestions of the people who could potentially be the next Black Panther. I'm sorry. Number one on my list is Aldis Hodge. If y'all don't know Aldis Hodge, that's who played in Underground. He played Alex Cross. He played into the Regina King movie, I think A Night to Remember. Somebody said Jamon Hansel, he too old. He could be the Black Panther daddy. Somebody said Lance Gross. Lance Gross acting ain't good enough. Somebody said Derek Luke. I can mess around with Derek Luke. I can see it for Derek Luke. I can see it for Trevante Rhodes. Let Trevante Rhodes fine ass get up in there. I can see it for Trevante Rhodes. But Aldis Hodge is number one. Aldis Hodge is number one when it comes to Black Panther. There is nobody else. He's got the masculinity. He's got the athleticism. He's got the body. He's got the recognition. He is non-problematic. Somebody said Aldis Hodge don't have the look. He absolutely has the look. Somebody said Kofi. I don't think Kofi acting good enough. But I'm telling y'all, Aldis Hodge is the only person that, somebody said Mahershala Ali. Mahershala a little too old. He could be Black Panther daddy or Black Panther uncle. It's Aldis Hodge or Trevante Rhodes, y'all. The people throwing Kofi in too. So I'm going to make sure when I get off the line, I'm going to send this right directly over to Marvel as if I know them people, as if I got them people numbered directly. That's all right. My mouth big enough. John Boyega. I wouldn't be mad with John Boyega. I wouldn't be mad. I would not be mad with John Boyega. I wouldn't be mad with John Boyega. I wouldn't. I think, listen, you can't go wrong with Aldis Hodge, Damson Idra, John Boyega, or Derek Luke, or Trevante Rhodes. I would be satisfied with any of them, but I want Aldis Hodge number first.
If you like movies and have time to spare, you need to follow Tina LockLair. Lock. You need to follow Tina LockLair.